Hi, it's Jag from A Skylit Drive, and this is Rock Forever Magazine.
Hey guys, it's Tori from Rock Forever Magazine, and I am here right now with Jag from A Skylit Drive. How are you doing today?
Doing good. Ready to play?
Yes, the show starts soon. You just finished up your meet and greet. How'd it go?
It was awesome. Yeah, we met a lot of really cool kids. I'm glad they all came out, and we're part of the VIP.
Yeah, good to hear. Now, your album Rise is out now. Amazing album, but what inspired the album artwork?
We pretty much wanted to kind of, depict, I guess, one of the worst situations you can really be in, like the situation where you feel the most hopeless and where just all hope is lost and it seems like nothing can get better. But we wanted that light to be shining above her. Even in the worst of scenarios, you can still make it out.
There you go. And I've noticed on a couple of the album covers you've had a girl, the same sort of girl. Is there any sort of theme with that there's any meaning behind it, or is it just coincidence?
I guess we just like girls on the cover. It was never intentional. It was just, we're like, hey, let's put a girl on the front. Everybody likes girls on covers.
At least you're honest and not trying to make some meaning up on the spot. You just like girls, so you might as well, right?
Everybody likes looking at girls, looking at attractive girls. I mean, it'll catch your eye.
Well, there you go. Album sales are going through the roof because there's a girl on the cover. So there you have it. And now, what is the message you're trying to convey to fans on this album in particular?
Kind of the overall theme, as there's different stories with every song. I mean, I always like to, sing of hope and, seeing things through no matter how hard it is. Even when you feel like all hope is lost and you can't go any further, to just fight through it and you can make it through.
Awesome message. And I heard that the writing and recording process for this album was a little bit different in comparison to your previous albums. So what in particular was different this time around, and how do you think that influenced the final outcome?
We definitely took a different approach. I mean, we used to always sit as a big group in a room, and we did more writing on our own. I mean, Nick would write all of the music and such, and I would write the vocals and the lyrics, and then we would kind of take all of our ideas in different batches to different producers and get their input, and we'd get to demo out the entire song so that we could hear it in its in all of its glory, I guess. But on all of the old albums, the demos weren't as clear, so we're like, oh man, this sounds awesome, and then we get in the studio and we're like, that doesn't sound as cool as it used to. But this time, we got to do quality demos to be this is how the song should be, and we got to hear where the real flaws were and stuff. So, and we worked, like I said, with multiple different producers, so that was cool to get that different input and just have that kind of cheerleader there behind us to be yes, this is cool, no, that's not good enough, because we're all really critical. So I mean, we'll cut parts out just because we're overthinking it, but luckily we had those other people there to be no, this is awesome, leave it alone.
Mm-hmm. And I know for a lot of bands the creative process is sort of never ending. Even after the album's released, you're finding little things that you wish you would have fixed or changed. So how do you know when you're done with an album?
You pretty much have to force yourself to stop. I mean, once you're okay, this is it is good enough, but of course you can always sit there and change things.
Yeah.
But that's when songs lose their flair. If you're trying too hard, then you should probably just stop, because I mean, once it's unnatural and you're just, getting rid of a part, putting in a new part, getting rid of a part, putting in a new part, it's maybe you should go back to what made you like that part to start with. Instead of trying to make that part even better.
Yeah, I guess it sort of gets a little robotic after a while. And what inspired you guys musically on this album?
Musically, you'd have to ask Nick, which he's not here. So musically, I'm not sure, what he was listening to or where his head was at. I mean, I know that we wanted to kind of bring things back a little bit to more of a rock album. That's why there's no interludes on the album. There's no intro track. It's 12 full songs. We were we don't want there to be a filler. We don't want there to be 12 tracks with 9 songs.
Yeah.
We wanted to give people 12 full songs how it used to be. I mean, you'd buy an album from the Used or Story of the Year or something. If they did have a filler, it was it was probably one of your favorite tracks.
You're right.
Instead of just some random thing to be oh man, we need 12 tracks. Can you make some electronic thing that just kind of fills the void or something, and then we'll just make a track? I mean, we just didn't want to do that.
Yeah, I guess you guys took it to the next level in this album then with the track list. And what inspired the song? What's the story behind the song Save Me Tragedy?
That one, I mean, like, I was, like, bullied all throughout high school and everything, so that one's, like, all about bullying. Like, it's pretty much from, like, two different standpoints, you know, like, somebody saving me, and then me wanting to turn around and save someone else.
Oh.
So, I mean, you know, like, the chorus, like, literally splits, because it's, you know, I hear you screaming, put down the gun, and then I switch to, you know, I know you're better off, or I actually just forgot the words a little bit.
How could you forget the words to your own song?
Do you know them?
No, not yet. Not yet. We're working on it.
Well, I mean, I've got so many words in my head all day, and sadly, we're not playing that one live yet. That's one of my favorites.
Maybe
but
next tour?
I'm pretty sure it'll be next tour.
Hey, awesome. And you guys were on Punko's Pop a few years ago, so if you had to cover a current pop song right now, which song would you choose and why? Are you keeping up on your pop music?
I really don't. I mean, to be quite honest, as much flack as Miley Cyrus gets, all of her new songs are really catchy. You can't deny it. Like, that song Wrecking Ball is amazing. The video is atrocious, but the song is amazing. It's a really catchy song. It's a good song. Even the other song, the Can't Stop or whatever.
We Can't Stop.
Yeah, even that song is really catchy. It's cheesy, but you can't get it out of your head.
Yeah.
So it makes it a good song.
I think all of us at some point have had one of those songs stuck in our head, so nobody out there can deny it.
So, like, if I had to pick a current pop song, it'd probably be Wrecking Ball. I just think it's a good song.
There you go. Let's make it happen. Let's just make it happen now. And you guys are currently on a headlining tour, so how would you describe a day in the life of A Skylit Drive on tour? How is your day when you have a show?
I wake up, and usually at that point our generator has shut off, so it's really hot in the RV, and that's
like
usually
fun.
why I woke up, is because it's too hot. I make some food on there, something to start off the day. If we're at a gas station, go in and grab something to snack on, maybe some beef jerky. Get to the venue, load in, sound check, VIP, go get food after that, or Starbucks if there's one close by. Hang out, wait to play.
Sounds like fun, minus the hot van.
Yeah, I mean, like, luckily right now it's working, but it's been giving us problems this tour.
Oh man, well hopefully you get that fixed soon.
Yeah.
And you guys, like you said, you're doing VIP meet and greets at every show.
Yeah.
You just finished up yours today. So far, what has been the craziest or most memorable fan experience of the tour? Anything stick out to you?
I mean, like, this tour, it's awesome because it's kind of like, you know, celebrating with the fans that have, like, always been there for us. So there hasn't been a lot of, like, new surprises. It's, like, a lot of people that, you know, like, it's like, hey, it's good to see you again, and, you know, like, it's definitely, like the people that always come back, and it's awesome to be able to see them still coming back, even with us being off the road for, like, 9 months.
Yeah.
So, not really many new, like, weird experiences or anything. I'd say same weird.
Well, let's not speak too soon. Hopefully something weird will happen on this tour.
Oh, well, I mean, like, we've had weird things happen, just not with fans.
Oh, I got you. And now, what has been the highlight of your career so far? You guys have been going for quite a while. You've had some really amazing moments. So what has been the highlight for you thus far?
I mean, recently we played over in Manila, and the show over there was amazing. It was like 15,000 plus people or something. So that was awesome to play that show. That was definitely a morale booster, and that was like while we were writing the album. So like we definitely needed that to be like, yes, we got this. And then like the album coming out, getting our like first week's numbers, we're like, yeah, like we're still in the game and everything. So something like that was definitely a good feeling. Like this album sold better than all of our other albums.
Really great.
So like it's definitely awesome, and this is the album that we're the most proud of. Like we've never worked this hard on an album. Like we've definitely worked hard before, but we like put our foot down on this one because all in the past it was like you guys haven't had months to write it, months to record it, and we were like, we're doing it our way this time. We're gonna write it for as long as we want to, and you're gonna get it when you get it. And like there's no like release date getting set until we actually go into the studio when we know that we will have it done in time. Because prior to, like, we'd have, like, the release date while we were still writing it.
Interesting.
So, like, we'd be finishing writing it in the studio with this album. We only, like, all the music was already written, like, prior to going in. The only other writing that happened in the studio was some keyboard stuff and 2 songs of vocals.
Oh, well, there you go.
So I had a whole month to write vocals for 2 songs. And then just sing the other stuff that that I already knew.
Right. And considering you guys are so proud of this album, do you think your perspective of your previous releases has changed at all, now looking back?
I mean, like, I definitely wouldn't change things. I mean, I might change the order at which albums came out.
Oh.
But I mean, like, you know, mistakes or good choices, I wouldn't change them because we wouldn't have made this album had we not been pushed by failing on something else or lacking somewhere else. I mean, like, that was what pushed us so hard on this album, you know. I mean, like, we've been at this for a while, so, you know, like, we wanted to definitely make the album that would, you know, define our band.
Yeah, well, there you go. Good attitude there. And what are your plans for right after this headlining tour? What can fans expect after this?
We're going to Australia right after this.
Oh, well, that's a big deal. What are you most looking forward to for Australia? Anything in particular?
Everything. We've been meaning to go there for a long time. We got booked there once, and then there was a huge, you know, conflicting tour, and then that ended up getting canceled, like, without our consent. And we ended up doing another tour, which was awesome, but it was just a bummer that, like, these two amazing offers came up that completely collided.
Right.
So, and now, you know, like, we finally get our chance to not go back, but actually go for the first time.
Well, that's a big deal, and I'm sure fans are stoked for that. And anybody who wants to follow you guys on Twitter and Facebook and everything like that, where can they go?
I mean, our Twitter is just A Skylit Drive. Instagram is A Skylit Drive Official. Facebook is facebook.com/A Skylit Drive. And then all of our personal Twitters and Instagrams are on there. You'll find them mapped out and everything.
There you have it. And you know what? I almost forgot about this, but we had a lot of fans asking about Warped Tour 2014. Is that something you're considering or planning on?
I have just as many questions about that because, like, that's always like up in the air. Like, usually the bands all get booked like by the end of the year is what I think. I mean, I don't want to say I know that because I don't know, but it seems like that's once usually all the bands get their offers. All I know is that, you know, things are looking good. So
you would do it if it came about.
Oh, of course. Like, that's our goal for next year. I mean, you know, if we got to do one thing next year, it would be to do Warped Tour, you know, like, for our third time. So that would be awesome.
So shout out to Kevin Lyman. Make some dreams come true over here, right?
Yep.
All right. Well, thank you so much for hanging out. It's been great talking to you. And everybody watching, make sure you check out A Skylit Drive. You could get their new album on iTunes. Make sure you pick up a copy. And while you're at it, subscribe for more interviews. We'll see you next time. Bye.